Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Surina. I am a junior doctor working in the UK and currently also revising for a surgical exam. It's time to basically use most of my days off to work now. I'll talk you through a few things along the way if you want to stick around. First things first, you've probably noticed I've got two screens, which, well, three if you count the iPad, but not counting that, I've just got two screens for my main desktops here, and that has been a life changer. I have, for example, what I'm working on my laptop, so things that I'm actively doing, and then I usually have any notes or web pages on this desktop that I'm using for reference, and it's just so useful to kind of compartmentalize your brain and be able to see everything you need to see in one go. It's so simple, but it's actually really changed the way I work and made it a lot more enjoyable, but also a lot more effective and efficient, I think. I really recommend two screens. This was like a secondhand monitor that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I think it was around 20 quid. I'm going to start with looking over things I did yesterday. So I'm revising head and neck at the moment, head and neck anatomy, which is my least favourite and the most difficult by far. I'm just gonna have my oats and get to work. So I've just been working my way through the anterior neck of the head and neck, which is sort of this area, and there's a lot of muscles and vessels and structures that go in there, so it's really helpful to be able to draw them and look at diagrams from the internet. I'll take you through exactly how I use my iPad to help me with revision. Okay, so here are the two apps I use the most, which is Notability and GoodNotes for note-taking, that is, but I use GoodNotes by far more often. So here are all my anatomy notes, organised by topic or by area of the body, and we're in head and neck today. As you can see, it's pretty much just like the same as drawing on paper in terms of the experience. I've chosen a sort of dotted paper, and here is a drawing, so you can label with the pencils, different colours, different thicknesses. So this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. I'm just abbreviating that for now, it's quite a long word. You can colour your pictures in, so I'm just using the highlighter. I know it's not perfectly within the lines, but it just makes it a little bit more easy to remember for me, because I do tend to remember drawings when I'm trying to answer exam questions. So that's really nice. I'm not necessarily a very good drawer, as you can probably tell, which is actually not a problem. Another thing I really like about this app on the iPad, as opposed to using paper, is you can always use images from the internet to help. If I wanted to draw that, I can literally just drag and drag from Google. And then here's a nice trick I picked up from someone else actually. So if you don't want to draw, you don't have to, you can just trace, and it doesn't have to be very accurate, just a rough trace. Okay, so that's really quick and rough image of what I was going for here. So I basically wanted to know where these vessels are in relation to the clavicle and the rib, and then also knowing about this important nerve here that goes in between them. So I think that's shown pretty nicely in this diagram. And then, you know, you can do so much because you can resize it, move it around the page, and just sort of insert it wherever it fits into your notes. And yeah, it just makes revision a lot more joyful, if that's not too strong a word. I did mention Notability briefly. To be fair, I've not really used it much, but I find it a lot easier for viewing textbooks rather than doing free notes. So as you can see, you can kind of highlight, you can make notes, but I don't tend to use it that much. Okay, hope that was useful. I think I'm gonna go get some lunch and I will see you guys later. Okay guys, I think I'm coming to the end of this study session now. It's been quite a few hours and I can feel that my head's getting a little bit crowded and I'm not really remembering anything anymore, so that's usually a good indication to stop or take a break. I've been doing this mostly as I go along, but something I like to do at the end of the session is to have a quick reread of everything I've gone over. I'm putting in information into Anki while I'm revising, and I'm by no means an expert at all with Anki, but I thought I would show you the 3 main ways which I use it. Okay, so here is Anki. I should probably explain, for those of you who don't know, Anki is a program that you can basically fill in flashcards in and then test yourself on them later. And it's a bit different to other programs in that if you are getting things right, it will show you the flashcard less often. If you are getting it wrong, it will show it to you more often. And with that method, it encourages active recall and spaced recognition, which will help you retain facts for when you're sitting your exam. And it's free to be downloaded from the internet and it's free on the computer, but there is an app which you can pay for. So here are my decks. I've split them up, so they're all under MRCS, which is the exam, and then I split them up into anatomy, which is further broken down into the subtopics, and then the other topics in the exam as well. I've made here a practice deck to demonstrate the cards I want to show you today. So if we click add here for adding a new card, as you can see here, it says basic, and this is exactly what you'd expect from a flashcard. So something on the front, so what organ can be found in the skull? Just a simple one to demonstrate the card for now. And then on the back would be the answer, which is the brain. So add. Now, one thing I like about Anki is it's got some very smart types of flashcards that you can use, which you can download from the internet. For example, here are the flashcard types I have. Here is one called close. So to add the close flashcard, you basically just need to go on the internet and type in close Anki, and it will bring you up this page. And if you scroll down, you can find a code, and that's for any type of add-on you want to add on Anki. There's usually a code if you Google it. Back to Anki, go to Tools, Add-ons, and Get Add-on, and then copy that code here, and then click OK. I won't click OK because I've already got this add-on. And then it should add it here, and then it's free to use. So, close is essentially when you're trying to write a sentence, and you can leave gaps in there for you to recall what the gaps are. So, the organ that is housed in the skull is the brain. Again, really simple, but just to demonstrate. So we highlight the word we want to hide, click these dots here, and now that word is gone. If you want to hide more words, so it also contains many vessels. Oh, can't spell. We can also hide that word. And as you can see, this brain has got C1 and vessels has got C2. That means when you use the card, the first time you'll have to guess the first word, the second time you'll have to guess the second word. If you want to guess them both at the same time, you can make them both 1, which means you can guess 2 words and reveal 2 words at the same time. The last type of card I use is image occlusion. So we add that the same way. We type image occlusion Anki into Google, find the add-on code and insert it into the add-ons. So this is fantastic for anatomy in particular. It's all a bit confusing. Essentially, all you need to know is you can go onto the internet and find an image. So I'll click here, copy image. Then I'll come back into the image section and click paste. There it is. Then I can go into this box thing here and we can see the image. So image occlusion is great for hiding parts of a picture instead of typing out a flashcard. So here I'm hiding the labels for all of the foramen or the holes through which this fluid in your brain travels through these ventricles.
So I'm just hiding the name of the 4 foramen. And we can select them all at the same time. If we select here, and I just drag over all of them, so they're all selected at the moment. And down here, firstly I'll group them so they are sort of one element, and then hide one, guess one is what I'll click here, and then that's a card made. So that was really quick, so I'll just close this and show you the cards I've made. So study now. So this was the basic one, if you remember. So what organ can be found in the skull? I think it's brain. Show answer. Great, that was easy. So the next time it will show it to me is in 4 days. Easy. Here is the closed one I made. So the organ that is housed in the skull is the brain. It also contains many vessels. Yep, that's correct, and that was easy. So we'll see that in 4 days. And this is the image occlusion, my favorite. So we can look at this picture, try and think of what these foramen are. And when you've guessed them, they'll all be revealed. And again, you can click good, easy, or not too good here. So I'll click easy as well. Really quick way, I think, to make cards a little bit more fun, a bit more engaging. And you can pack a lot of information into all the cards, especially with the image occlusion.
Okay, I hope that was useful. So I'm going to take a bit of a break from this now and work on something different. So recently I've been creating some content for Instagram about things that I'm interested in and things I want to share. So I've had an idea for a post which I've been thinking about for a few days. I'm going to go and look at that again and hopefully put it together into some sort of post which I can post later today. So that'll be nice and will give me a break from this. Hello! So I think it's been quite a while since I checked in with you last. I'm just trying to find some good lighting because it's quite dark. So it's almost midnight now. I got quite into what I was doing before, trying to do some research for that Instagram post, and ended up just getting way too deep into it. You know, the classic thing when you just open more tabs and more tabs and more tabs. And then I saw the time and realised I was meeting a friend for dinner and had to get ready, so I was running around trying to get ready. Yeah, didn't really have time to film much, hence just checking in now. Fortunately, back to work tomorrow, so on my days off, as you can probably tell, you just have to cram everything. One thing I didn't really do today or talk about today was about doing questions, and by far the best way to learn and know how to focus your revision is from doing question banks, which I didn't really get around to today, but that's okay. I think it's time to go to bed. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.